Hello, my name is Hou Tong Cheang. Today I'm going to evaluate the stages of our charity event using the PMBOK project management model and using Kolb's learning theory for sharing my reflections on this event. PMBOK, the project management body of knowledge, is a collection of process and knowledge areas accepted as best practice for the project management profession. According to PMI, project management refers to the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to a range of activities to meet the needs of a specific project. Project management is divided into 5 stages. If the life cycle provides a high-level theme of the project, then these stages are the roadmap to complete the project. The project management life cycle is composed in 5 different stages: initiating, planning, execution, event hosting, and shutdown. PMBOK, which will be embedded within the Kolb's cycle. Kolb's learning cycle. Kolb constructs the famous learning cycle theory of experimental learning in 1984, emphasizing that individuals can learn through experience and practice. David Kolb's experiential learning theory divides the learning process into 4 stages, including concentrated experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and activity experimentation. The 4 stages form cycle learning process that is repeated continuously. The initiation and planning of PMBOK have obviously related to concrete experience. Initiation. Project initiation is the first phase of the project management life cycle in which the project is kicked off. It is a beginning phase in which can identify the project deliverables, objectives, stakeholders, and scope. During this stage, the project management needs to establish the business case for the project, ensure the project is aligned with the organization's strategies, goals, prepare an initial budget and timeline, pick a methodology for the project, select and assign the right team members, involve relevant stakeholders. According to our event, we were a group of 6 members. Since our group was working together for the first time, the first meeting was conducted for communicating and more understand each other. The reason was that we needed to be more familiar with each member. We tried to increase the degree of cooperation and success rate as much as possible. The concrete experience of this initial stage was also valuable due to we were a lack of experience in hosting an event, so it was so important to share our themes and related our individual experience, which we can learn from that. Even the final assignment could be inappropriate or unfamiliar to some members, but our members were willing to challenge, and my role was given to serve as planning and logistics manager. This role gave me a bold vision and challenge, and it taught me how to plan and run an event. The initiation phase of the meeting also involves collective decision making on the select charity, and event type and theme, which helps to build the mission and goal of the activities or event, and our members got different opinions. So we all vote for the team leader to decide the event typology. Finally, we choose an event which is supported by Enactus. Enactus is the world's largest experimental learning platform. It is decided to provide student teams with the guidance of educators and the support of business leaders to assess the needs of the community and identify potential solutions to complex issues and implement community impact projects. This results in communities benefiting from collaborations and fresh innovations. Also, students can gain valuable experience to advance their personal and professional lives. The arm of Untitled charity is convocating the next generation of entrepreneurial leaders and social innovators, then create a better and more sustainable world, which is consistent with the objective of our event. However, due to the seriousness of the epidemic, our activities has chosen to be conducted online, and this event was mostly targeted on college students who want to build an individual business or increase leadership skills, and this event may make their dreams come true. For the feasibility study, having identified and defined all the elements of the event, it is necessary to consider the feasibility of the proposed event. Although this is identified here as following on from event. In reality, the factors below would be considered at the same time as the event was being decided. For example, market factors impacting on feasibility, target market, demand, supply, and competition. Operational factors impacting on feasibility, value, ability, skill required, resources, licenses, and permits. Financial factors impacting on feasibility, costs, and projected revenues and funding sources. Therefore, we use SWOT analysis, which identified the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and weaknesses are issues which relate to the event concept and the organization delivering it. Opportunities and threats are issues relating to the external environment which you are operating within. Stakeholders are individuals, groups of individuals or organizations that hold a special interest in an event, including its operations and success. Stakeholders are a critical player in the success of any event. To a certain extent, stakeholders shape the manner in which event managers conduct an event, and there were some of our stakeholders showing in the pictures. The next step of initiation stage is planning. The planning stage process is to build the project infrastructures which will enable you to achieve objectives within the predetermined time and budget constraints, starting with the project management plan, project scope, work breakdown structure, and Then quantitative and quantitative risks analysis and risk responses. We use the 7 P's of making marketing mix for our marketing plan. 7 P's assist us successfully identify product, pace, price, promotion, physical evidence, people, and process. Today's society can't live without social media. That's why we were trying to use Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for promotion. Regarding the financial plan our event was doing online, we didn't have any financial costs. Also, the tickets are completely free. In terms of the donation page, we expect to reach £200, and this is the risk assessment in our event. The next stage of course learning theory is active experimentation. Active experimentation. Learning at this stage takes an active from experimenting with changing situations. The learner would take a practical approach and be concerned with what really works, as opposed to simply watching a situation. The implementation. This process is also known as the implementation phase, in which the plan decided in the previous phase of the project activity cycle is put into action. The intent of the execution phase of the project activity cycle is to bring about the project's expected results. Improvement and cancellation. Unfortunately, a few days before the event, we find that the number of participants suddenly decreased. In the last few days, we tried our best to find more participants, but the results were less than the expected number of participants, so we decided to cancel our event due to the lack of audience. As part of implementation process, it is always necessary to consider and prepare for unexpected cancellations. In event hosting, I was also a logistic manager, so it is really important in this stage. If the event had been hosted, the logistics manager would have been responsible for more through the whole process of the event going. And the first stage in this cycle is that of reflective observation. This is the stage after event shutdown, all donations we wasted still need to be sent back to sponsors. We have to cancel all posts and update our event social media for informing all students who paid to participants. And evaluations. These internal evaluations and external evaluations. In overall, I get a positive experience from internal evaluation and external evaluations. And these abstract conceptualizations in this research I will discuss what we taken from this experience and construct recommendations as to what I would do differently next time due to the event not taking place. The recommendations will be generated from this stage we did complete. We can using the buttons breakdown experience. And there are recommendations for future hosting an event. We can use the 7 I's, and other options is 5 phases of event management for success, which being our bring our event success.